Hey, welcome to Ice Age TV Part 3 Towing Day? What the heck are we doing here on the Ice Age TV Day, huh? Well, got another project. It's just always about projects. We live out in property. We have property out here. You live out in the country. Not so much anymore. Still gotten developed around here, but at the same time, I still kind of live in the country to a degree. And what am I going to do now, right? You know what I'm going to do now? Let me share with you what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to do some more towing. And what am I going to drive now? What am I driving and do some more towing? You know, part of me like grab the power boost there. Or part of me's like, nah, let's take the good old Ram truck. That Ram truck's so cool. I love that truck. And I think I'm going to use that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my Bronco out of the way here. And there's the Ram. And I'm going to hook up my dump trailer here. And what are we going to do? I'm going to go get some firewood. Yeah, I roll up the road here to a place called Loudoun County Millen, where a gentleman by the name of Dr. Joe Rogers, the Rogers family owns operation. And I'm going to get some wood. Really should get some rock. Need to add a little bit of rock to the driveway. So part of me says just do that first, then get the wood. I don't know. First thing I do is got to get the Bronco, the Raptor, out of the way here, and then I got to pull up the big truck and figure out which hitch I'm going to use. And it's a project, man. Never ending. Which I don't mind that part. Get the Raptor going, and yes, what happens now is, for me, I've driven the. I know, I hear you. The front camera needs to be serviced on this thing, which that's too damn bad, because that means you got to get in for service and go to the dealership and drop it off and sit around or whatever. So, anyways, the change up of the vehicles. Yeah, for me right now, it's more about, hey man, give the Power Boost a little break, because we drive that every day. But today we're gonna have the Maverick drive day, then the Ram 3500 drive day, and the kid took the other Ram truck. She didn't take that 450, so she's driving the Ram 2500 today. It's all piped up and she's all excited about. And so I'll grab the other Ram and then figure out what receiver I'm gonna need for that thing. So it's just about the tow days. I figured, you know what? I'll just make another video. I just like to make videos. Have you noticed? And let's check out the difference here. Trashed my truck before she got the black truck back. And no pity for daddy, where I need to get the truck cleaned up. And there's the there's my glasses. I was looking for those. So let's get this bad boy. Now, most of you would be like, why the hell can you just take this truck down to Tennessee and pull that nice big trailer and it'd just be really cool? Right, why didn't I do that? Well, the reason I didn't do that is because I want to learn about vehicles as much as you want to learn about them. And if you follow my channel, I buy so many damn cars and trucks all the damn time. Maybe you'll benefit from my incompetence of spending too much damn money all the damn time on cars and trucks, and you won't have to go through the aggravation I do in life, and you'll just kind of know. You'll be like, yeah, we'll just use the Iceman's money. And see, this here is totally, this is like archaic. There is where they have the rear, it makes no sense. This should have been the rear hitch. This should have been the bed. Duh. I mean, engineers, I don't know, man. I just don't get it. So let me kind of get this thing kind of positioned right here, and then we'll go from there. Let me get my receiver. Let me go evaluate that. Let me evaluate the receiver situation here and see which one I think I need. And then the jet engine. We got the jet engine thing going here. Yes, this trailer's growing algae on it. So here, on this one here, yeah, I don't need much of a drop. I think it should be pretty straightforward in that. You hear that? That's part of when you pipe a truck, that's just the way it sounds. Top Ford trunk, this freaking, it is like big time dirty. I love this look. I like the lines of this truck. I think they did a great job. The newer lines, the Rams, I don't know. I'm just not as excited. And you know as well as I do. If I was, wouldn't I have one? I mean, sincerely. All right, let me get the receiver hook up here. And all receivers. Yeah, I got a few, don't I? Yeah. So I think I'm going to take this one here. I think that'll be the best setup for me. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Now, the question is, do I need a sleeve? I don't know. We're going to find out right now. So all the sleeves I have from all the trucks that I've owned. These are sleeves where it goes from size, you know, different sizes. So let's grab this one here. Really need a pin as well. Well, here's one here. It's not complete. Where's the rest of it? I need two hands. All right, see, there you go. Need a sleeve. So that ain't gonna work. And then these are sleeve specific to these manufacturers. That's a project. So now this here, this is a whole guess on this. I have no idea. This would be my Ford F-450 required this. So let's see here, we got it here. Challenge is these holes. Yeah, that's, see there? That ain't it. That has to be this one here. But there's this hole lineup correctly. Look at that. I know. It does. All right. Making headway. Yeah. So now, let's hear. Since this guy put these aftermarket lights in here, I can't get this thing in here. I need a shorter pin. This here, this is what I was talking about earlier. The newer Ford trucks, new Ford trucks, they've got two sleeves. That's how heavy duty that F-450's tow package is. So for the Ram truck, it doesn't even have as big as a receiver, but it doesn't have the capability of towing either, like that F-450. So this is gonna probably take like this pin here, but then I need to find myself, well, I can just take one right here. If that falls out, I think it'll fit. Oh, it's the projects. You want to go somewhere and do something? I had to charge my battery on dump trailer because that damn thing was going dead. All right. See if we got it now. You can see it now, can we? Yeah, you can't see there. Barely. Barely. Look at that. Two hands. Yeah, just to show you how far we've come. Look at this tow receiver. There's that F-450 I showed you this morning. Huge difference. Huge. All right, now I gotta jack this thing up. Pretty close. Now the hot lick thing these days is hydraulics. This is hydraulically driven, which I wish I'd have gotten that, because they got a hydraulic tank right here. There's a hydraulic tank for the trailer itself. And so if you think about it, why wouldn't you just have a hydraulic jack? All right, let's get this thing lined up here. Oh, that drives me nuts. Here's my other air gun that I had. I couldn't find it. I wanted to take that down on my road trip, and unbeknownst to me, it's sitting in this damn truck. I can't get tracked. All these damn vehicles. You put something in one, you can't find it. But now my hands are all trash, so clean them up. All right, we got her all ready to go. And so a big difference here between all these trucks that I have. So for the Ram, if you want to do the tow mirror package, you got to bust these things up like this. Okay, but since I'm not doing a car hauler trailer where you get blind spots because it's so long, I'm not worried about that. Here's one of the first things that you have, but this thing's just all piped and ready to go. And what's unfortunate is whoever did a tune in this truck, I guess up underneath here is somewhere. Must be right here. You know what? I bet you this is it right here. This little thing here is the what is that? That's interesting. There should be like a dial thing. Just a light. So where is the switch for the that's just part of the manufacturing of the truck, that light. But where is the tune? You know, where do I go and I can manually tune this thing? And you go to auxiliary. You know, this is where it gets awful complicated. So, I don't know. I need to find. They need to hand off the tune to this truck to my app for this truck. How do you get that? I don't know. I think you have to call the manufacturer and they have to reach out to the person that did the tune and hand it off. It's my understanding. That sucks. Come on. I ain't doing it. Gotta get my barn doors closed. This thing ain't cooperating. Yeah, here's my favorite nighttime driving glasses too. What the hell? I just don't remember using this truck for all that. This truck has 81,513 miles, 16.9 miles per gallon. But what I didn't like about this truck when I towed with that smaller trailer, the tank's so small, you go like 200 miles and you're filling up, I think. I just can't remember on that. That's just too much information. Now the debate is, do I get some more stone for the driveway? Debatable. And after driving the F-150 Power Boost, then to drive this thing, I mean, you know, you're just talking about two totally different animals. I mean, this is, for the record, this is what you drive. When you're pulling 10, 12,000 pound trailers, this is what you drive. In all sincereness, but if you're a budgeted minded person, yeah, don't look to me about that that idea. If you're budget minded, you're gonna have to come to closure. Do you want this big ass truck to run around and do your errands and get around and go places, or would you rather have more of an F-150 truck like the Power Boost that's so much more accommodating for your just general due to things and whatever? So that's the brakes feeling pretty good. And that's why I'm trying to emphasize in my channel that if you're a person that's going to have one truck, the F-150 Power Boost is that's what I'm going to buy, because it's just a better overall package for everything to do. And yeah, you're going to be able to pull 10, 12,000 pounds. And yeah, of course, this diesel truck will pull it, but for your everyday lifestyle, unless you're doing everyday towing, then it's not even a conversation. You're going to go out and buy yourself a heavy-duty truck. I mean, I get all that. But for the people out there that want to have just one truck that they can do a lot of things with, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. I wouldn't buy a Ram 2500. I wouldn't buy a Ford F-250. I'd buy the Ford F-150 Power Boost, because it's going to accomplish you towing when you want to go towing, go places. But when you're around home and doing your regular old thing, you got a great vehicle that's more accommodating. This truck here is huge. And then to get in and out of it, like my wife, she'd be shaking her head like, I don't want to get in that truck, because they're going to climb into it. I don't want anything to do with it. And then it's noisy and it's choppier. So, you know, that's the reason I'm doing these YouTube videos for people out there, is to share with you that, hey, years ago, I'd have been talking totally different. I'd have been like, well, I think you're going to have to just suck it up and have two trucks. Just buy a more get around town vehicle for your stay-at-home one, but get the good over-the-road tow vehicle. And that's have to be a 3/4 ton truck, whether it's Ram, Chevy, Ford, whatever you're going to. It ain't gonna be Toyota. Toyotas make no 3/4 ton truck. Hey, Toyota guys, yeah, I know there's a lot of diehard Toyota people out there, and I'm a diehard Toyota guy, but I'll raise my hand and tell you straight up, a Tundra truck, cool truck, but can it do what my Power Boost did without struggling all day long? Yeah, no way. No way. Yeah, I mean, I know you can do it, but I mean, there's lots of things you can do, but is it really comfortable and confident and makes sense? You know what I mean? So, yeah, this thing here is a blast. I mean, I love this truck. It's a blast. This thing here, it's just a torque. Hear that engine? This thing's just freaking, yeah, it's really nice. But drive this thing every day? No way. It's too much. Parking, getting out of shopping centers. So yeah, follow me along. Oh my God, it's bad. I gotta change it. My YouTube channel's gotta be the first to stop the follow me along. I have to think of a different theme that I change the YouTubers to quit saying that. It's the worst. I admit it. It's the worst. Follow me along. Follow me along. Like you're sitting next to me or behind me in a truck, right? This thing. So this thing, I put it in the tow mode, which sometimes I don't like to do that because it gets radical. But we're getting that exhaust note. You hear that? See, to me, this is overkill in the tow haul mode. So I don't like it. I don't usually do it because it's like overkill. And it's where they don't trim the trees. Look at this tree on the right. Look how close that is to the road. Your nice, pretty car or trailer, you come down this road and you're oblivious to this, it's going to be scratched like somebody took a Brillo scratch pad to your freaking trailer. Ask me how I know. Hey, here's some $1 million land here. See that dirt right there? It's worth millions. Millions. Over the mountain, over the hills, off we go to Hamilton Milling, which is a mill Rogers family here in Loudoun County, Virginia bought. Unbeknownst to me, until years ago, the Rogers family, a very wealthy-to-do family here in Loudoun County, Virginia, and they bought up all the mills, the flour mills, during the Civil War. During the Civil War, a lot of flour mills went broke because of sanctions from the Union to the Confederates, all our stuff. So they bought up tons of flour mills, and that's what made the wealth of the family. Because when the Civil War was over and the Industrial Revolution was all going on and things kind of came back to life in this country, those flour mills were huge profit centers for them. So I don't know how many they owned, but I do know they owned the Washington, downtown where Georgetown University is in Washington, D.C. There's an old flour mill there that actually years ago you could see it, but it's been developed. It's actually developed around it. When I moved here, the flour mill was still there back in the 80s, even through the 90s. But then they did a whole renovation down there near the waterfront in northwest D.C., the Georgetown area. And sure enough, that flour mill was owned by this family where I'm going today. And Roger Jr. is still alive. Here you go. You know, this is what you're going to start seeing every day of your life. Is the guys running more cable. You know, it's going to be nothing but adding more transmission lines because of the beyond believable challenge that we're going to have with the electricity. I talked about that the other day in my electricity conversations. Back road. Boy, I tell you what, up here in this Northern Virginia area, the rest of this week, 50s and even 60. Beyond believable, this area here. So, you know, if you're the global warming supporter, the green agenda supporter, you're going to say all day long, see, there you go. Mother Nature has changed, and we have a warmer world, and that mankind's going to go through incredible challenges because of the warmth of they say for every Fahrenheit or Celsius degree that raises, it's more violence and sickness in the world. That's what all the scientists are all saying and predicting, is that for every degree of temperature that it raises, it'll create more starvation, more wars, more just mankind itself will be angry. Yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff if you read about it. So here they are. See here? There's a big spool of wire. Yep. Not being here hitting anybody there. Yep. Nobody gets hurt in my dime, right? Hopefully not. Yeah. Guy was driving. Did you see me? School bus this guy. I see barely. See there? That all happens. Schools are getting out. It must be 2 o'clock, 2:30. Yep. How the day flies by. I tell you what. If you live on the road like I live on the road, the days just, they're poof, they're gone. You ever notice you get in a car and how it's just like time goes by so much faster? Yeah. Waterford, Virginia, and it's the astute area. If you have a Waterford address, you're looked at as the more of the accomplished person in this world. Where I live, not so much. But over the mountain, I had a chance to move down here years ago, and just never did it. But this is the elitist town for the most part. Old town too. Small town. Up, got a guy, got a horse trail lady person. Right here is already cuts through. This becomes a major thoroughfare from Virginia to Maryland in the afternoon traffic. So this town just becomes a major highway. I mean, beyond believable. If you watched my video the other day when I was heading out last Wednesday evening, you'll just see all the traffic. And even me right now saying that, it's beyond believable. It's beyond believable that Wednesday of last week I left for Tennessee. It's already Monday. So meaning, Tuesday, my brain was mush because I found out about my nephew dying. And I just couldn't come to closure what to do, what to drive, what to take. And it was Wednesday. You'll see that video of me spending the whole afternoon of putting my trailer together. And for me, it's just hard to believe it's Monday morning, well, it's Monday afternoon. And, here I am, and here we go again. It's just the days pass us. How'd you like to live in this house right here? I mean, right on the road. That same people live there. I'm talking the 80s. I drove through this town. The owners of the yellow cab, red top cab used to live there. J.E. Nichols. That used to be the big, the cab company. Cab company called Yellow Cab, Red Top Cab. How do I know that? Because I used to sell them fuel. I used to sell back in the 90s, early 90s. That was one of my best fuel accounts as a fuel salesman. I used to sell Yellow Cab, Red Top Cab, like 150,000 gallons of fuel a month. And then I got a commission out of that sales. And I had about a 5-cent margin on the fuel that I had to split with the owner of the company. So that was like $7,500. So I made like close to $3,800 a month off of that fuel account. That took me years. It took me close to like 3 years to close that account and take it away from Chevron. Will Scruggs was the purchasing agent and, one of the top guys in that organization. And J.E. Nichols was his partner. That's why I just showed you his property. They've all passed, now. And but man, that was one of my best accounts. And I just had gotten that account, and it wasn't like 5 or 6 months later that I really decided to move on in my life and career. Just when I was really starting to get ready to start making like a six-figure income when I wasn't even 30 years old. Yeah, I was on course making six figures a year back in 1992, 93. Be making 100 grand a year back then was pretty good money, and I literally was right at that edge, and then I left. It was just a major disagreement with the owner of the company, what I could and couldn't do on my time, and I just was at the point too. I'd been with them for 8 years. I was just really ready to move on. Just really was at the point. I was like, you know what? I want to move on and be my own thing. And that was a huge step of what helped create who I am today. That would, boy, I tell you what, talk about growing up. Woo! Yeah. Talk about the hard knocks of school. Woo! That's where I found that book years prior to that, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I found that book in 1988. And I read Harvard business books too in 1988 as I got my sales career going. I didn't have anybody teach me how to sell. I just borderline taught myself and just read books. All right, we're getting closer up here. And people may say, it's always about you. Well, yeah, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to radiate anybody who watches my channel. This could be you as well. It's all about learning from others. Why do you read a book? I mean, it cracks me up on people like, you're a narcissist. You're a narcissist. It's like, oh my God. It's like, do you read a book? Do you read, biographies? I mean, do you read on how other people got through this physical world and what they did that separated from other people's world? I mean, come on. I mean, it's so ridiculous. And so for you on a YouTube channel, I just try to share stories and ideas and views that hopefully you can go, yeah, I can relate with that. Or a young person like, yeah, right now I'm being challenged more in my life ever in my life. And man, listening to your YouTube channel, I see how you just didn't give up and you just kept that positive mental attitude and you had the right outlook in life. And you know what? That made me think about how I can do the same thing. There you go. Or you can take the path of the media and look for the handout and look for the hate, like the hate we've never seen in our lifetime. If you go to Twitter and you just Google if you do a search thing on Twitter of what is going on, you're going to see videos and stuff that you'll be disturbed of what Twitter will show you of what's going on between the different races of me and the other race. I mean, beyond believable if you see what's going on. And so it's the hate of the hate that's being driven. So for me, I don't want that on my YouTube channel. I want people to look at my channel and go, you know what? That's helped me believe that there's things bigger and better in this world than what I'm seeing on damn TV. Yeah, the leaders of our world? What leaders? The fearless leaders that are caving to the money factor like never seen before in our lifetime. And the agendas that are progressing of the select few that are just really whack jobs, beyond believable, of what we are witnessing of people in power that are teaching others to do that they think is the right thing to do that's so wrong. It's the hate of the hate. And so no, let's turn around and this is a huge opportunity in this country to be incredibly successful if you believe that. And if you do things the right way. Yes. All right. Debate is, what do I do here? I don't know. What time is it? It's 2:30. I don't know. I'll have to go in here and talk to the gang. Here's a fuel account. I met a guy named Rudy Harding. Here's a good story. A gentleman by the name of Rudy Harding was the general manager here, and he was good friends with the Joe Rogers Sr., who was the doctor of the county. And Rudy Harding was a former 3M salesman. This guy had a hand on him that dwarfs my hand. He was born here in Ashburn, Virginia, which is incredible. I met his son years later. And this guy, he was a stern guy, very challenging. And for me, I wanted the fuel account for this location, which I got it eventually. So you can see over here, there's a fuel tank over here. So I used to sell fuel And they actually even had a small underground tank. So I used to supply them with gas and diesel out here. It took me about 3 years to close this account, but I met this guy, Rudy Harden, in like the spring of 1989. And he was a well-known person here in Loudoun County, Virginia. And I think they have a picture of him in here. But anyways, let me get in here and see what's going on.